What's up, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Wake Up and Ball with your host, Tony Dow. I am live in action this morning, man. Y'all hit that like button on your way in the building. Shout out to Roundtable Sports. Listen, make sure you subscribe right now to this channel because Monday through Friday at 8:30 to 9:30 a.m., you have Wake Up and Ball with Tony Dow and Richie Maloro. On Fridays, I'm going solo, having a good time with you guys. Thank y'all for tuning in. Again, punch that like button. Let your friends and family members know about the channel and let them know that we are live Monday through Friday, 8:30 a.m. to 9:30 a.m. Wake up and ball. I hope y'all having a good morning. Get your coffee, get ready. Let's roll. We're about to get into so much in the world of sports, so much to talk about. We have the game from last night that we have to discuss, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to be talking about this, Jake Paul and Mike Tyson fight. I got to discuss Harbaugh, man, and what he's doing with the Chargers and his standing in the standings in the AFC division. And can the Chiefs actually go undefeated? We're also going to dabble into a little bit of NBA talk this morning. So stay tuned right here on Wake Up and Ball. All right. Now, we want you to know that this stream is being powered by BetUS. Take advantage of a 150% sign-up bonus on your first deposit up to $2,000 using code YouTube150. All right. Again, that is YouTube150. All right. Supporting our sponsors is supporting the channel. And if you're looking for a new sports book, BetUS is where you want to be, ladies and gentlemen. Even right now, BetUS has a slew of games tonight. You can get on that Jake Paul and Mike Tyson fight. You could also go look at the NBA, which has a lot of odds. Philly playing New York, Miami versus Indiana, Detroit versus Toronto, Washington versus Atlanta, Brooklyn versus the Knicks. Man, that'll be a good one. The Knicks are favored by 9.5. We shall see. The Bulls versus the Cavaliers. Will the Cavaliers get their first loss? We'll find out. The Lakers versus the Spurs. Wemby, LeBron, that's star power. All right. Phoenix versus OKC. The Clippers versus the Rockets. Denver versus the Pelicans. And Memphis versus Golden State. And last but not least, you got the Timberwolves versus Sacramento. Now, a lot of people ain't going to be watching that back end. They're going to be trying to see if Tyson going to knock out Jake Paul or not, or is Jake Paul going to embarrass Mike Tyson? We shall see. But you also on BetUS, you can get in on that action as well. Like I said, a 150% sign-up bonus, all right? So take advantage of that. Supporting our sponsors and supporting the channel. And make sure, if you're going to gamble, do it responsibly. If you have any addiction or problem with gambling, there are resources on the site that can help you out. All right, man. Let's go ahead and dive in and get right into it, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Wake Up and Ball with TD and Richie. First and foremost, we already know what time it is. The Commanders versus the Eagles. Man, what a game last night. What a game. That definitely has to be discussed, okay? When you really look at the game last night, here's what I want to start out by saying. Two great teams. But I had already told everyone, I knew what was going to happen in this game. Why did I know what was going to happen in this game? Because when you have two great teams going at it, just like last week, the only thing that you can lean on is who's more experienced than the other team. And just like last week, I said Pittsburgh would win because both teams are just as good as each other, but they're more experienced than Washington. Washington young with a young quarterback. Nothing changed versus the Eagles. Commanders played good defense for the most part of the game until the fourth quarter. But again, the Eagles just kept weighing on them. And the Eagles won because they are the more seasoned team. And I'm going to be honest with you. Even though this game kind of got out of hand, this game was actually closer and further away. Why did I say closer? Because the Commanders fought all night to be right there with them, but they just couldn't put up any points versus the Eagles. They couldn't put up enough. Vic Fangio and that defense did all they needed to do to make plays and make it happen. And listen, Jaden Daniels, he struggled for the most part. He couldn't, get loose, couldn't, find a rhythm. but I knew that that would happen. So it was close in the sense that it never got out of hand until the very end, but it was so far away. We're not going to sit here and dismiss all those missed field goal kicks by the Eagles, which were additional points that should have separated the game even earlier. I mean, and by the way, I like missing that amount of kicks. I don't know. I think the Eagles might want to go ahead and reevaluate that position starting today. Now he started making some on the back end, but I'm sorry. That's unacceptable. You cannot win games against the Lions missing kicks. You cannot beat the Chiefs or Baltimore like that if you're going to be missing kicks. It just can't happen. So what does this mean for the Washington Commanders moving forward? Ladies and gentlemen, absolutely nothing. Why? Because what we need to come to realize is the fact that the Washington Commanders has already exceeded expectations in this league. They have already exceeded expectations this season. So at the end of the day, all they need to do is coast and eventually make a wild card, because it looks like the Eagles are going to run away with the division. Still time for that to change. But as of right now, it looks like the Eagles are going to run away with the division. And for the Commanders, they just need to coast into the playoffs, see if they can make a little noise, maybe a first round win, maybe not. We don't know. And keep building upon it. The Eagles season has already been a success because they know that they have a quarterback that's a rookie that's worthy of building around for the future. So it's already a success. But they aren't quite ready, in my opinion, to go up against the best of the best. They can compete with them, but to win and really be a Super Bowl contender, you got to be disciplined, sound, and have a little bit more experience under your belt. And that's something that they just don't have yet. And that's why the last 2 weeks they have suffered losses to some of the best teams in the NFL. Last week wasn't a big deal because it was out of conference, but this week was a little bit more of a big deal because not only was it in conference, but it was in division. So Washington, keep your head up high. It's nothing to be discouraged about, but maybe simmer expectations and understand that you have already won this season. And don't be satisfied. Want more, and you're going to go get more. But always remember, no matter how the rest of the season plays out, you have already exceeded expectations. But on the other side of the football with the Philadelphia Eagles, they made a statement, ladies and gentlemen. They made a statement letting the rest of the league know that they are true contenders. They have been one of the most underrated teams up until this point because they have been low-key flying under the radar. We made such a big deal out of some of the losses that they had early on and figured that they were major issues that we stopped even noticing that the Eagles have been winning. And now when it comes up to playing the Washington Commanders, whose bandwagon everybody has hopped on, it's like you sleep on them. And then whenever you have that competition, a lot of people pick the Commanders. And I picked the Eagles because I knew that everyone was ignoring what they had done over the last several weeks. They are finding themselves. They are getting back to form. And ladies and gentlemen, don't forget Devontae Smith and A.J. Brown, they were banged up at one point this year. And as soon as they came back, this team turned around, did an entire 180 and went back the right direction. The Eagles are true contenders. Now the Eagles have the Lions peeking over their shoulder like, hey, all right, I see you. Still not scared of you, but I see you. And that's what it's about. That's truly what it's about. So at the end of the day, the Eagles are a team to be reckoned with. Now, when you look at remaining schedules and things of that nature, you have to ask yourself, do they actually have a chance to win? Not just the NFC East, but can they actually compete with the Lions for the NFC in general? Right now, according to the standings in the NFC, the Eagles are 8-2 and the Lions are 8-1. So it's that one game difference. Okay. And the Eagles, are they going to be able to go on a run from this point on? Well, look at their opponents. They play the Rams. That is going to be a tough game, but they are the better team. They play the Baltimore Ravens. Man, that's going to be tough. I don't think they're the better team, but if they win that, you got to say that, man, they're a top 3 team in the league. Right now, I have them in maybe the top 6, but they beat the Ravens, they could be a top 3 team. Then they have to play the Panthers. That's a win. Should be, at least. Then they play Pittsburgh. Hold on. We don't know. Man, the NFL got some great games this year. Then they have to play Washington again, but this time they travel on the road to Washington. Then they have to play the Cowboys and then the Giants. So I'm going to be honest with you. There are 4 games that they should win automatically, putting them around 12 games. And then you have Baltimore, Washington, and Pittsburgh are games that we don't know. And that's what makes or breaks a team to determine who they are, how well they do in those other games. And again, we don't know this. It could be flipped totally upside down. We have no clue, but I will say the Eagles will be competing for the number 1 seed. Washington, on the other hand, they have to play the Cowboys coming up, the Titans after that, the Saints, again, the Eagles again, the Falcons, and then the Cowboys again. The Commanders have a very favorable schedule. And that's why the division might even come down to that second Eagles game. So that's going to be very interesting to see how it plays out. So technically, they haven't secured the NFC East yet because it can still go either way. But let's take a look at the Lions, who's everyone is chasing right now. Here's the problem with the Lions. The Lions have to play the Jags, which is they should win. They have to play the Colts, which they should win. The Bears, they should win. But then you have your gauntlet. Can you beat Green Bay? Divisional rival. Yeah, you can beat them, but that can go either way. Buffalo Bills. Now, that's going to be a juggernaut game. Then they play the Bears again, in which they should win. But then they got to play the 49ers. I don't know. Tough. And then last but not least, they end the season versus the Vikings. So the Lions have a tough schedule too. They have some give-me's right away, but it gets tough on the back end for them. But then last but not least, that reminds me of the Lions in their division, because are the Lions going to absolutely win their division? That's a question that has to be asked as well, because the Minnesota Vikings are only 1 game behind. And when you look at the Vikings schedule, I would say the Vikings have the easier schedule than all of these teams. They play the Titans, should be a W. The Bears should be a W. The Arizona Cardinals should be a W, even though it'll be a nice game. The Falcons should be a W, even though it'll be a good game. The Bears, again, should be a W. The Seahawks, tough game, but should be a W. And then the last 2 games, they play Green Bay, in which they've already won on the road this year. So they should be the favorite in this one. And then the last game of the season is the Lions. I'm going to tell you now, ladies and gentlemen, I think that the NFC North might even come down to the very last game of the week. Vikings-Lions. I think that's what that might come up to. All right. So the Eagles, Commanders, it's not over, but I'm going to pick the Eagles to win that division. Let me know what you think in the chat. Who do you think is going to win that division? All right. All right. We got a few super chats. Some people showing love to the show early in the morning. Thank y'all so much. Yeah, no Richie this morning. On Fridays, I'll be going solo doing the show. So thank y'all for coming through, showing me love and showing me support right here on Wake Up and Ball in the morning. All right. Eureka Master said, TD, give Skylar the same benefit of the doubt you give Deshaun Watson. First of all, I do give Skylar Thompson with the Miami Dolphins a huge benefit of the doubt. All right, because at the end of the day, I think that it's important to recognize sample size matters. Sample size matters. You know, what if I told you Tua's first game versus the Jacksonville Jaguars and his second game versus Buffalo, they were atrocious. But if I was just to end his season right there, is it fair to say Tua is one of the worst quarterbacks in the NFL? He's terrible. No, that's not fair. But that's what we continue to get with Skyler. He comes in, he plays 2 games, and he looks like Tua did in his first 2 games this year. Terrible. And we just automatically give him a conclusion. The problem with Skyler is he's never been able to get in a full slate of rhythm. But at the same token, the one thing I'll say about Skylar Thompson, he needs to have at least a few. He has to have more flashes than what he has. But I also blame Mike McDaniel because he dumbs it down. You need to go full-fledged with a guy like Skylar and see what he can do. No need to baby him or pacify him. So that's how I feel about that. All right. Eureka Master said I meant Kyler Murray. Well, Kyler Murray, give him the same grace. I don't have to give him the same grace. I think differently of Kyler Murray now. I'm impressed with Kyler Murray this year. I still don't think he's a quarterback that can get over the hump. Yeah, right now, all he's doing is showing me that he can make some regular season flashes. That's it. But I don't think he can get over the hump. I'm not a huge Kyler fan because in the best of competition, I don't see the great play. And that's where it matters, in my opinion. Shout out to Jesse, San Francisco 49ers contributor right here with Roundtable Sports. All right. Sammy Dimes is the Vikings QB. No game is a for sure. Look at that. A 49ers hating on Sammy D. Sam Darnold playing a lot better football this year. Now, I will say the last 2 weeks, though, Jesse, he hasn't played very well at all coming off of the bye. All season, I've loved how Sammy's played, but the last 2 weeks, he's not played well at all coming off the bye. And this is the week right here. I'm giving him an opportunity to shake that bye week rust off and ball out because they have an opponent that they should. So I'm going to let this week talk for itself and say that this is the week where he gets it done. All right. Jesse said Richie decided not to ball this AM. Not shocking from a Jets fan. Wow. No, Richie's good, man. He's taking care of some business for sure. All right. Let's move forward, though. I do want to move forward. And I'm going to split this right down the middle. Am I over here? Harbaugh has the Chargers winning. Harbaugh and the Chargers cruise to a 6-3 with tough path ahead. All right. Let me say this real quick, and I'll move that from the screen. Let me say this. Have y'all really taken note of what Harbaugh's doing with the Chargers? And remember, they're doing it low key. They're not out here, look at the chart. They're doing it low key. They're staying under the radar. But if you could ask to be 6-3 right now, and your defense is only giving up 118 points all season, and for those who don't understand the significance of that, that's 13.1 points a game. Let me verify that because that's actually almost in their historic range. I got to verify that. They played 9 games. Hold on now. Yeah, that's in that historic range. 13.1 points per game. 13.1 points per game. Let me see if anybody else is even close to that. Y'all give me a second because that is ridiculous. Nobody in the AFC even close. What about the NFC? The Vikings, but that's still, and the Vikings played 9 as well. Then the Vikings 17.4. The Chargers are literally 4.3 points better than the second team runner-up. They're operating at a historic defense level. They're operating at a historic defensive point level. Matter of fact, I need to look that up. I need to look up in history real quick. Okay, least amount of points allowed per game NFL history. Because this is unreal. Fewest points allowed per game in a season. The Ravens in 2000 only allowed 10.3. The Bears in 86, 11.7. The Titans in 2000, man, 2000 had some defense, 11.9. Steelers 12.2 and 78. Bucks 12.3 in 2002. Bears 12.4 and 85, the year I was born. Broncos 12.4 and 78. Ravens 2006 defense 12.6. Bears 2005 defense 12.6. Now remember, these Ravens and Bears teams, they were known for their defense back in 05, 06, right? And that's actually shocking to me that we've had a lot of teams with some great defenses like this, and it would put the current Chargers at ranked 16th. I'm shocked that we had this amount of teams with all these great defenses. It will put them ranked 16th all time. And since the year 2000, they would be ranked 7th. But this is in that realm of those historic defenses, y'all. This is right in that realm. Historic defenses, man. And this is why they can win games. Let's not forget where the Chargers came from. There was so many games where Justin Herbert was putting up 30 points and they were still losing games. And now when you look at it today, like you look up and you can't even believe what you're seeing happening from the Chargers. I'm just going to say this is definitely impressive. Definitely impressive. And I mean, it looks like the highest amount of points they've allowed to the Chiefs was 17. They lost that game. No, they gave up 20 to the Steelers. 20 to the Steelers. The Chargers, man, when you look at their remaining schedule, it's about to get real, though. This is where we will find out who the Chargers are. Here's why. They have to play the Bengals. The Bengals, that's going to be a game Sunday night. They have to play the Ravens after that. Another primetime game, right? Then they have to play the Atlanta Falcons, which should be a nice game. Then they got to play the Chiefs. Like, they got it, man. And by the way, out of those 4 games I just listed, 3 of them are primetime, 8 p.m., 8:20, 8:15. Then they have to play the Bucks, which is a solid game. Then they got to play Denver, which is a solid game. And then their last 2 weeks, they better hope that they're in contention right there, because they should get those last 2 versus the Patriots and the Raiders. Patriots and Raiders. But here's why it's favorable for me. I think they could beat the Patriots and the Raiders. This defense will absolutely destroy Broncos offense. And Broncos got a good defense, but the Chargers will score more than the Broncos just because the defense is so good. Same thing with the Bucks. I think that they can stifle Baker Mayfield with those injuries at the wideout position. Kansas City, I'm going to be honest with you, that's the real threat. Even though the Chiefs already beat them 17-10, but that's going to be the threat to KC's undefeated season. The Atlanta Falcons, defense can win that game. Baltimore, I don't think you can beat them. And the Bengals, I don't think you can beat them. It's going to be interesting. But I can see Harbaugh getting this team 10-plus wins. And I'm going to end off at 11, and they'll be a wild card team, but they will get into the playoffs. And it's crazy how in one season, Harbaugh can come in, change the culture of the organization, and they are already playoff contenders. I'm not going to say they're Super Bowl contenders, but what I will say is with this level of defense, you could argue that they are Super Bowl contenders. Any team that could hold everybody they play under 20 points or less, you're a contender. They've only allowed one team to get 20 points, and that was Pittsburgh early in the season. One team. Any team that can allow no one to get over 20, they can contend for anything any given week, averaging 13.1 points per game allowed. Yeah. But they're definitely going to be tested by the Bengals. I think the Bengals get over 20 in this one. I really think the Bengals get over 20 in this one. But hey, we shall see. We're not going to jump the gun on it. But when you look at the AFC, ladies and gentlemen, it's just interesting. Who would have imagined, man? The league is very healthy. You know, you got a healthy part of the league and a non-healthy part of the league. Pittsburgh healthy, Baltimore, Bengals about going on a run. Cleveland, their woes have to be figured out. Buffalo healthy, Miami and Jets woes have to be figured out. New England going on the pace that everybody expected. Kansas City on a roll. Chargers surprising. Denver surprising. Raiders, they got to go get their quarterback this offseason. Houston doing their thing. The Colts trying to figure out the quarterback situation. Tennessee, they're in a reset mode. Jacksonville, don't know what's going on. Have no clue what's going on. But when you look at everything, though, there's a lot of certainty, though. I mean, in the past, you're used to about 5 teams that, you know, you understand what they're going through, and now you can point to maybe 12 teams in the AFC. You know where they're headed or what the goal is. So I love that the NFL is just so healthy right now. I just love it. I love every bit of the health of the NFL right now. And that's in the AFC. When you look at the NFC, the entire NFC North, with the exception of Chicago, they need better quarterback play from the rookie, in which he's a rookie. So it's okay. Same thing with the NFC West. The entire division is competing. The NFC East, Eagles, Washington, shockingly good. Dallas, turmoil, have no idea what's going on. Giants about to reset. Atlanta doing their thing. Tampa just got hit with injuries. Same with New Orleans, but they need to reset. And Carolina trying to figure it out. But it ain't many teams. There's so much more teams that we understand where they're headed than we don't. All right. So that's where we are on that note. All right. Now, I want to switch gears here. I want to switch gears real quick, if I can. And I want to talk about one team. Ladies and gentlemen. Okay. Can the Chiefs go undefeated? Can the Chiefs go undefeated? I want to start out by everybody in the chat. Let me know what you think in the chat. Let me know what you think in the chat. I'm not saying win a Super Bowl. I'm just saying strictly regular season. Can they go undefeated in the regular season? Let me know in the chat. I want to give you their remaining schedule. Buffalo Bills this week. Whew, that'll be interesting. Okay. Then they have the Carolina Panthers. Then they have the Raiders. Then they have the Chargers. A little tough, right? Then they got the Browns. Then they got the Texans. That's a very favorable core of the remaining schedule, y'all. Then to end it up, they got Pittsburgh and Broncos. There's only going to be one game. No, let me back that up. The Chiefs are going to be favored in every single one of these games. They're going to be favored in every single one of these games. Their biggest opposition will be this weekend versus the Bills. The second obstacle will be the Pittsburgh Steelers in December 25th, Christmas. Then the third opposition, I believe, is going to be the Chargers. Fourth level of opposition is going to be Denver. And then the rest of the other three games, they won't lose. They won't lose the other three games. Okay. I'm going to be honest with you. I actually don't even have an answer to the question myself. I don't even have an answer to the question myself because the Chiefs can beat every single one of these teams. Will they is a different story, but they can. And the one thing that I want to discuss real quick is Patrick Mahomes. Like, some people already think Patrick Mahomes is the GOAT. And I want to ask y'all, is Patrick Mahomes the GOAT or Brady? Put it in the chat because I want to see if there's anyone who's already tipped that scale. Is Patrick Mahomes the GOAT or is Brady the GOAT? All right. Just want to hear from the chat real quick. Who do y'all have in that situation? Oh. Who did y'all have in that situation? All right, let me see what the chat's saying. Brady, Mahomes, GOAT. See, we already got some Mahomes, Brady. A lot of Brady's though, right? I don't think Mahomes is ever going to be the GOAT. But what I will say is he's on his way. He still has to finish and at least at a minimum match Brady. But the only way, in my opinion, that Mahomes can be the GOAT, the only two ways. You have to end up with more Super Bowls than Brady. I don't care about the stats in the MVPs and stuff, which Mahomes ain't winning them at a high level either because Lamar is in the league. But in order for Mahomes to surpass Brady, there's two ways to do it. Way number one, you got to win more championships than him. You can't match him and have better stats and say you're the GOAT because this is a rare situation where we actually got to see both of them compete head to head. And Brady won. And the older Brady, which makes it even worse. So you cannot match Brady with the same amount of rings and have better stats and say you're the GOAT. You have to have more championships than him to say you're the GOAT. So remember that, ladies and gentlemen. The only reason I don't believe you can match him and have better stats and be the GOAT is because you already had a head-to-head and he proved to be better. You have to surpass his Super Bowls. There's only way number two. There's only one way you can waive needing to exceed his numbers. And that's by accomplishing the one thing Brady wanted to accomplish, but he didn't. The one thing Brady didn't accomplish, you have to do it. If you want to know what that is, it's the thing that Brady wanted the most. He wanted to go undefeated and win a Super Bowl. He wanted to take that from Miami and do it with more games because the amount of games back then were less than now, which makes it even harder. That's the one thing Brady wanted to do. Thank you so much. The one thing Brady wanted to do, ladies and gentlemen, and he wasn't able to do it. So if Mahomes can go undefeated and win a Super Bowl and do it on a three-peat, he waives the requirement of exceeding Brady's accolades. That's how I view it. Y'all let me know if y'all agree with that assessment or not. Do you think that that's a fair way to do it? That's a fair way. I believe so. I believe so. I think that that's the best way to evaluate the situation. And remember, another thing to be considered, just in case he doesn't go undefeated, Mahomes isn't even having a great season. He has a great team right now. The only difference is you can't knock him for that because he's proven even with the not great team, he's been able to carry the team. So that's where I'm at on that topic. All right. One more topic that I want to get into today before I open up a Q&A is tonight we have a big showdown going down. Jake Paul versus Mike Tyson. All right. Paul KO'd the last 7 out of 10 opponents. Tyson's last professional fight was in 2005. Put it in the chat right now. Who do you have winning this fight? Who do you have winning this fight, and how are they going to win it? I'm actually really curious to see what people have to say about this. So go in the chat right now and tell me who you have winning the fight and how. All right. My Holy King said Tyson. Joshua said Mike Tyson knocking Jake Paul out. If the fight is not rigged, Tyson wins the fight. Mike Tyson by KO. Mike by 2-round KO. Man, I'm a little nervous for Mike, but I like Mike. Oh, man. Listen, I'm going to be honest with you. I don't know what to think, to be honest with you, about this fight. I really don't know what to think about this fight. I know that Tyson has stayed in shape. Tyson, in my opinion, I don't think he'll ever lose that deadly punch. And people don't understand that. I don't think the power on Tyson's punch has changed one bit in the last 20 years. Only thing I worry about with Tyson and his age now is, can he absorb contact like he used to? Eat it. Teddy said, TD, this is a money grab fight. Of course it is, but it's a fight. I think both of them are actually going to go out there and try to see who going to beat who. We know it's a money grab, but I think they're actually going to really truly fight. Not like stage it. I think that they actually going to fight though. So money grab or not, yeah, I'll fight you, get the money. But they actually for the fight. I think that they really about to fight. Like Tyson really like, I want to knock him out. And Jake Paul like, well, I got to knock him out or I'm screwed. So my thing is this. Tyson is fearless. For those who don't understand Mike Tyson and his history, Mike Tyson ain't dancing around the rim trying to, avoid. Mike Tyson trying to get up in your chest and deliver. And he can move. He can move. He can get out the way. But he ain't getting out the way backing off like that. He ain't running. He all up in you moving. He's there. People like, well, Jake Paul got the length. That you talk about a Mayweather situation. No, it don't matter with the length because Tyson getting in there. If he got to eat 2 to get up in there, he getting in there to box. So Paul might be the one that need to back up and be backing up and moving and sticking. Like, I think Jake Paul can win this fight if he becomes the jabber. Hey, Tyson on his way in, jab. Let me keep moving backwards. Jab. Let me keep on avoid. I ain't letting him in my vicinity. Because Tyson don't care about that. He'll trade blow for blow, but he just wants you to feel every one of his. If Jake Paul make this a mano-y-mano, man, I can see Jake Paul taking a good shot and just falling to the ground, man. And then one of them nasty ones to the head. I'm telling you, if Jake Paul, in my opinion, want to win this fight, keep that distance and bam, just keep on hitting them. And maybe you can, maybe, I don't know. But, and I don't think you can do that effectively because eventually Tyson going to start running towards you. Like, no, I'm getting in there. You ain't finna keep me at bay. I just don't see how Jake Paul win. But for some reason, I'm supposed to, imagine him winning this fight. I just can't imagine it. Maybe he does, though. Maybe he does. I don't know. The person is Paul gets about 40 million. Tyson get about 20. Yeah, I saw it. Mike Tyson slapped Jake Paul last night. Like, people don't understand. Mike Tyson is a kind person, but he's fearless. Like, when he's in those interviews and he's laying, this guy's got a good imagination. He ain't trying to tell you trash. He ain't trying to tell you this and that. He just like, you think you're going to win because of the reasons that you just said? Okay. Like, I think Tyson's ready. And let me tell you something. Tyson at his age now, being more like seasoned, I think that only thing on the mind of a shark is eat by any means. And Jake Paul is sardines. Oh, man. It's going to be real interesting tonight. And a matter of fact, y'all stay tuned. I might even stream that fight right here on Roundtable Sports tonight. I might stream the fight right here on Roundtable Sports tonight. All right. Y'all punch that like button. Paul gonna get hurt. LOL. We'll see. Tyson is the real boxer. Tyson may be too slow. No, this ain't got nothing to do with speed. Y'all don't get it. This ain't got nothing to do with speed. This ain't got nothing to do with speed, man. Let's see here. No, he fought Logan Paul, the brother. Mike is old like Rogers, TD. Nah, different sport. Different sport. See, because Mike ain't got to rely on nobody else. He ain't got to rely on the receiver or the O-line or nothing like that. It's just Mike. Yeah, I saw that last night. Free Dirk. Too slow. Have you seen the BTS? Yeah, they don't understand. I don't even think some of these people go watch Tyson. Even at his age now. Too slow, go watch his workout video. Like, y'all don't understand. Jake Paul needs to keep a 3 foot plus distance the entire fight. Telling you now. It will come down to Tyson's endurance. That could be a good part of it, but I'm telling you, I don't think this fight is going past 3 rounds. I don't think that this fight is going to go past 3 rounds. This might be a first round done. This might be a first rounder. I don't know. You bet in the house on Mike? Nah. Where can I find the clip of you hiding behind a chair? Get out of here, Flim. Jake Paul. If Jake thinks he's about to trade blows to blow with Mike, he might as well not show up. He's going to have to stick and move and last the rounds. Listen, you got a lot of young people like, oh, Jake Paul finna hurt that old man. Y'all, my gosh, y'all don't get it. You should. Boxing is fun to watch and cover. Yeah. I might do that tonight. I might stream it right here on Roundtable Sports. We'll see. So y'all turn on your notifications, subscribe. So just in case I do, you can catch it. Y'all can tune in with me. We can be talking about it. All right. And I don't understand the Netflix format. Are they doing it like normal fights where they have 3 more fights before it and this one's like late? Or is it just bam, at this time, Tyson Paul? Y'all got to help me out with that because I don't know. Are there early fights on Netflix to lead up to the big fight, or is it just those 2 and that's it? I don't know. I haven't, been on the Netflix fight boxing tip. Y'all let me know in the chat. Yeah, it's 2 or 3 fights before. Ooh, so this is late night, man. So are they about to have us waiting to 12:30 in the morning for the fight? Y'all know how them fights be, man. On the East Coast, it be 1 a.m. and they finally in the ring. Are they about to have us waiting all night? Man, yeah, it will be at 11 p.m. on Eastern. I gotta know. There's a huge female fight with Serrano. Nice. It's a Friday though. You can manage. Yeah. I get it. The fights start at 8. So, and there's 3 before that, is what y'all telling me. It's 3 before that, is what y'all telling me. Yeah, we'll see. I'll check. I might do them all, or I might wait to go live just for that fight. I'll check, man. We'll see. Because that's interesting. 10 p.m. East Coast ring walk for Tyson. Why so soon, though? If you got 3 other fights, you're going to do 3 fights in 2 hours? And Tyson's already out ring walking? So the other fight's only going for 40 minutes? We'll see. We'll see how that goes. All right. The fight between Jake versus Tyson will be a midnight probably. Yeah. It's always late whenever you got them. That's how it works. Somebody said, so I guess Netflix and chill. Serrano and Taylor is the best fight of the night. Really? What time is that one? What time is that one? Yeah, y'all got to let me know. I might have to watch them all then. Matter of fact, let me just pull it up. Netflix fights. Oh, I'm typing on the wrong thing. All right, let me see. All right, let me see. All right, Netflix card. All right, here we go. Full undercard, including Taylor versus Serrano, too. All right, here we go. So let me see what we got here. All right, full card. Jake Paul versus Tyson for the heavyweight. Katie Taylor versus Amanda Serrano. Undisputed women's super lightweight title. Mario Barrios versus Abel Ramos. Welterweight. Shadazia Green and Melinda Watpool. WBO super middleweight title. Lucas Batty versus Armando. Oh, we got a lot of fights. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 fights. Yeah, we got 7 fights or something like that. The event will begin at 1 a.m. on Saturday, 16 November. 5 p.m. Pacific time, 7 p.m. Central, 8 p.m. Eastern. No time has yet been announced for Paul Tyson ring walks, but they are expected at around 11 p.m. Eastern on Friday. So they got some prelim fights and stuff, I think like 5 p.m., 6 p.m., and 7 p.m. And then the main 4 start at 8 all the way up. So interesting. Yeah. I'm going to check that out tonight, man. All right. Yeah, we definitely go get into that tonight. Who all going to be here to watch it with me tonight if I do it? Let me know in the chat. Because that'll be pretty dope. I think that'll be pretty dope. Just saw that Gladiators 2 commercial. I got to go see that too. All right. But yeah, so interesting night tonight. Mayo said, yes, sir. He might be here. Mako. I said Mayo. Mako. I will, cuz Josh is gonna be in the house. I'll be here. That would be lit. D1. So maybe we'll do 8. Maybe we'll do 8 to get the prelim fights and talking. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. When it comes to boxing, I used to love boxing. I literally just stopped watching boxing. Let me tell you, I'm the era of Holyfield, Tyson. I watched all those guys. The biting of the ear. And then, the only thing I watched past that point was when Tyson, no, not when Tyson, is like Mayweather fights. But I wasn't in it anymore. And I ain't gonna lie, this might make me want to get back into it. Yeah, this might make me want to get back into it. Who's your favorite fighter all time? The GOAT. Who else but the GOAT? Who's the GOAT? Put it in the chat. Who's the GOAT? And I'll tell you if you're right or wrong, in my opinion. Who's the GOAT? Y'all know who the GOAT is. The best fighter of all time. It ain't no Ali. Respect Ali. 2.0 GOAT. Ali not my GOAT. Tyson ain't my GOAT. Y'all probably just hating on the GOAT. Like, how can you take it away from Floyd Mayweather? What have any of them done that he hasn't? And he's done it all, more than them. Why? Because he ain't heavyweight? He ain't. No, that ain't fair. See, the man used his brain. One of the most sound technical fighters there is. The man said, I can keep fighting because I'm not going to take as much punches as everybody and go. Like, he actually embodies the sport on offense and defense. Ali did too, but Mayweather mastered it. Let's be honest. Mayweather mastered it. The art of boxing. Miss, bam. Okay. Just won that play. First down. Bam. 6 yards. Miss, bam. First down. He mastered it. Bah, touchdown. Let's go. Next. Like, he mastered the art of the sport. Like, comparing it to football, he literally kept the chains moving. Mastered the sport, man. Nobody's done it better than Floyd Mayweather. And I didn't like Floyd Mayweather at first. Just a little flashy, blah, blah, blah. But as time went, I started to, watch these fights and just be like, hey, he is good. He has a game plan in every fight. And his game plan wins every time. And it ain't the same game plan. It might be different with this guy, different with that guy. Ali, great. Float like a butterfly. Can you catch me? Got you. He's slick with it. But when Ali got worn out, he was in those trenches battling it out, and he would win. But Floyd Mayweather, beginning of the fight to the end, from beginning to the end, Floyd didn't fight any top boxers like Ali. Because why? Because it's heavyweight. I'll argue this. Floyd never allowed there to be any other top boxers. See, if Floyd had a career where, he lost 7 fights and those 7 guys got a little peak and they were winning. Oh, they're top. Like, take some of Floyd's best opponents. if they would have beat him once, right? Because they would have eventually had to fight again or something, right? If they would have beat him once, they would have became legends. Oh, that's a top fighter now because they beat Floyd. So when Ali, he lost some fights, and those guys he lost to they were bigger than ever then. Those are real competition. Had to fight them again or whatever it may have been. See, sometimes you can keep people from becoming legends. It's the Jordan effect. Nobody winning a chip in the 90s with Jordan. You know how many great players didn't win a chip? And now today, who did Jordan play against? But if they would have won some of them chips against him, you would have respected them more to say it was tough for Jordan too. But no, we ain't going to let it be tough for Jordan because he didn't let nobody else get them chips when he was getting them. So no, I don't want to hear old Floyd didn't fight nobody. No. And remember, I like the slugfest. I like the power, knock them out. I like the boxing and all. You know what I mean? I don't like Floyd Mayweather isn't the power. I mean, don't get me wrong. He got power too now. He delivered blows. But I love the way he was strategically artful in fighting. That's like your underdog. That's your underdog. And you just kept winning. So he may not be your style of fighter or whatever, but you can't deny the greatness because he'll beat your style of fighting. He'll beat every whatever style you like, he'll beat it. He will beat it. Every single style that you like, he will beat. That's the point I'm making here. Clutch like Brady, brains like Manning. Just elite, man. But yeah, that's my boxing experience and my history, you know. And when all that drama started happening with the big ear with Tyson and Holyfield and all that, I wasn't into it much, you know. But the only thing I would watch from that point is Floyd Mayweather when he would fight. All the other stuff I just didn't follow enough. But now, you know, tonight just got me in that fighting mode. I want to watch more fights, you know, follow these boxes more and stuff like that. So yeah. But man, we're running out of time. I only got 1 minute left. That's crazy. But yeah, y'all come back tonight. We're gonna try to crank up the live stream tonight right here on BetUS, a special exclusive for Wake Up and Ball. And then we'll be back on Wake Up and Ball on Monday, recapping the fight a little bit. But you'll get a lot of it from me tonight. So y'all come hang out with me tonight for the fight. We can enjoy it together. Jake Paul, Mike Tyson. I got Mike Tyson second round or third round. I'm gonna go third. Third round, Mike Tyson has Paul holding his stomach in the corner. And the ref's calling it. I got that's what I see. You're gonna see that look on his face, like, all right, yeah. And who knows, it might go the other way. I just can't imagine. I can't imagine Tyson losing like that, but maybe he does. It's a new era, right? We'll see. We shall see. But anyway, thank y'all so much for tuning in to Wake Up and Ball with TD and Richie in the morning. Again, man, Monday morning, we'll be back live here, me and Richie, 8:30 a.m. Remember, on tonight, come through. We're going to watch the fight together. MJ said, Fade Mayweather was a dog. Bald Mayweather was Mr. Miyagi. Yeah. See? And Mayweather did it so long, man. Anyway, I got to get out of here. Love y'all. Appreciate y'all. Don't forget this stream was powered by BetUS. Take advantage of that 150% sign-up bonus on your first deposit up to $2,000 using code YouTube150. Thank y'all. Good morning. Have a great day. I will see y'all tonight. Peace. I am out. Let's go.